Hey, welcome to Coaching You Live podcast with the Coach Brendan Suhr. So excited this week. You know, we have incredible opportunity to talk about the women's NCAA tournament. Debbie Antonelli, Hall of Famer, North Carolina State alum, a Hall of Famer as a player, but a Hall of Famer as a broadcaster. One of the very best. Her sixth year of doing the men's NCAA tournament, and forever she's going to be doing out in Spokane the regionals for the women's game the following week. I think you'll find her insight into basketball is unparalleled. You know, so after this quick timeout, we'll be back with Debbie Antonelli. I'm so excited to announce our new partner, Instat. Instat is a powerful web-based platform which enables you to store, edit, and share video linked to statistics. Their video database contains over 30,000 player profiles and nearly 7,000 team profiles. Thousands of basketball games from all over the world are uploaded daily, with many of them filmed exclusively by Instat. Instat's user-friendly interface is very intuitive. The flexible filtering system will fit the needs of coaches at all levels. You can sort through specific play types, locations on the court, lineups, and various other parameters. The Instat system contains multiple tools that clients from all over the world utilize for scouting, recruiting, coaching and player development, video editing, and tagging. They also take an individual approach to each client. The wide network of Instat account representatives allow Instat to best serve their clients 24/7. Also, Instat production specialists will provide you with a quick and precise breakdowns of your team and opponents in less than 10 hours. Need a certain game ready sooner? Instat gives you the ability to prioritize the specific games you want the data for first. Instat also provides free individual player access, so feel free to invite your players to the Instat platform so they can access their page, follow their performance, scout opponents, and share clips with other players and coaches. After each game, they can receive an individual one-page PDF report and video clips with all box score statistics. For more details, please visit our official website, instatsport.com/basketball, and apply for a free 1-month trial using code COACHINGYOULIVE. Again, that code is COACHINGYOULIVE. Contact Eric Stang at eric.stang@instatsport.com for more information on this offer as well. And that's ERIC@INSTAT-sport.com, or click the link in our show notes. We're thrilled to have our longtime partners and friends at Dr. Dish Basketball on board as sponsors of the Coaching You podcast. Dr. Dish machines are undoubtedly the most user-friendly and advanced machines in the world of basketball today. Dr. Dish has completely revolutionized and reimagined the shooting machine to provide the best solution on the market. Join top programs around the world like Duke, North Carolina, Florida, and countless others and upgrade your shooting machine to Dr. Dish. Dr. Dish machines are the best way to increase purposeful reps in your program to get players better, faster, while tracking progress along the way. Dr. Dish provides so much more than just your standard shooting machines with custom training, pro trainers, and coaches on demand, real-time and detailed analytics, and top-of-the-line drills and workouts. If you're looking to take your program to the next level, look no further than Dr. Dish for the best basketball training machine in the world. If you have an old machine that's just collecting dust in your gym, did you know that you can trade that in to Dr. Dish for up to $1,500 off and get a new dish? Make sure to give our friends at Dr. Dish a follow at Dr. Dish B-Ball on Twitter and Instagram for great daily drills, workouts, tips, and inspiration. Or contact us at drdishbasketball.com. Don't forget to mention Coaching You or our podcast for $300 off your purchase. Coaches, are you looking to take your game preparation to the next level? Then Fast Model Sports is the perfect coaching software for you. With FastDraw, build an organized library of plays and drills and create professional playbooks to share with your players and staff. You can also download over 9,500 free plays and drills from our Playbank directly to your FastDraw account. Looking for a better way to build your scouting reports and want to include video? With FastScout, build custom scouting report templates to prepare your team best for each individual opponent. Plus, did you know with the latest updates from Fast Model Sports, you can now include video with your FastScout reports and share with your coaches and staff all within the FastScout mobile app. The combination of FastDraw and FastScout is by far the best way for you and your coaches to create winning game strategies and effectively communicate them to your team. Over 10,000 high school and youth coaches trust Fast Model Sports products to help their teams reach their goals. To order, go to fastmodelsports.com. Use code COACHINGU15 to get 15% off any FastDraw or FastScout products. Remember, go to fastmodelsports.com. Use code COACHINGU15 to get 15% off any FastDraw and FastScout products. Hey, welcome back. Debbie Antonelli, one of our dearest friends at Coaching You, is our guest today. Deb, welcome so much for coming today. Thanks.
Coach, I would do just about anything you asked me to do. I appreciate you so much, and thank you for having me on.
I'll watch film with you. I'll do anything. I shoot in your event every year. I'll do anything I can for Debbie Antonelli, who is the hardest working broadcaster I know, because she is in Milwaukee right now doing the men's openings round with a great venue. And then next week, she'll be out doing the women's Spokane regional. And she is the only person I know that knows what the hell she's talking about with the men and the women, okay? Which is amazing. So thanks, Deb, as always.
Thank you so much. I've learned a lot from you.
Well, you know, my thing that people don't know about me, other than my dearest friends like you, is how much I love the women's game and women's basketball. And I can talk to you for hours about it. I'm so excited about this year's group that we have in the tournament. With the number one seeds in South Carolina, Stanford, Louisville, NC State. I love Iowa. I'm so excited at the job that Nikki did at Baylor. Texas as always. And Gino would miss buckets back pretty good. Tell me what you think of this year's field.
Well, I think there's incredible parity in our game, right? South Carolina's been the overall number one seed. They've been the best team all year. They have one of the best players in Aaliyah Boston. They rolled through the SEC, which is a really hard league. And I think they are, they're not playing quite their best basketball because they got knocked out in the SEC tournament and they didn't play well the game before. But there's no worries there for Dawn Staley when you have 11 high school All-Americans on your roster. She's done a great job balancing all their talents all season. So I love their team. Stanford's a defending champ. They have everybody back minus their point guard. They have learned and grown through the year to handle pressure. Louisville is a team that is an elite level defensive team. Their guard play has gotten better. You know how important guard play is in the tournament. And then, of course, there's my beloved NC State, the number 2 overall, number 1 seed, won the ACC regular season, back-to-back ACC tournament championships, and their prize is the 1 seed in Bridgeport, which everyone is upset about. So that's a tough draw, and it's tough for anyone to go to Bridgeport with UConn as a 2 seed, basically playing at a 90% house full of UConn fans.
Spoken like a Hall of Famer from NC State, but we'll let that roll right now. Best players in the field. I mean, there are some great women nowadays that we're going to find out in the WNBA, but right now, because of the coverage in women's basketball, we're now seeing these girls now, and I just love some of these players, but I want to hear from you.
Well, Coach, you would love Caitlyn Clark at Iowa. She is absolutely amazing. I mean, we've never had a player on the women's side lead the nation in scoring and in assists. Trae Young did it once on the men's side, and that's it. She reminds me of Jackie Stiles based on her impact. Their styles of play are a little bit different. But literally, she is one dribble over midcourt, cross sides in transition, and pulls up from the logo and shoots it. And when you talk about Caitlyn Clark, you got to talk about two logos. The logo in the middle of the floor, which is her range, but also her ability to get to the logo in the middle of the lane and make some plays there. And I think this is really interesting. You'll love this because you and I like to break down the game so much. Monica Senato is her post player inside. She's leading the nation in field goal percentage. It's like 67, 68%. Before the last regular season game against Michigan, I watched on Synergy all of her made baskets. At that time, she had made 214 baskets. She only dribbled 16 times. It speaks to how deep she catches it, how quick her moves are inside. It's hard to bring a double to her, and they're like clockwork, like Caitlyn Clark and Monica Senato. That would be really interesting if South Carolina and the 2-seed Iowa met for the Elite Eight. I think that's a matchup we're looking for. South Carolina is Aaliyah Boston, 24 consecutive double-doubles coach. She could be and will be probably the National Defensive Player of the Year, but also she could be a Player of the Year. Those are the two top candidates in the women's game.
I thought Gino really struggled, as any of us would, with our best players out. But he kind of, it was a hard go for him. The adversity that you have to go through as a head coach. And I think their players, as he said, suffered from a loss of confidence, not having their best player next to him. How is Paige now, in your estimation? What degree is she back to, you think?
Well, I think with the tournament, the interesting thing for her is that they'll play a 15 seed that they'll beat by 40 points. So she doesn't even really need to play in that one. The next game, maybe she could play maybe 15 minutes and they still can win. So it's not a factor for her yet. So she still has more time to come back. He claims she's at her October numbers and level. So if she's at that means that's pretty daunting. I think she's one of the best players. Obviously, she almost swept all the National Player of the Year awards last year.
Right.
And it was a challenging situation for UConn that they're not used to losing. I mean, they've been to 13 straight Final Fours. The man's a genius, right? I mean, so
yeah.
No one feels sorry for him. And now they get Paige back and they're the 2-seed in Bridgeport. I mean, how much better could it be for Gino? He's got to be living life large right now. I mean, I don't even know if he needs to even study film or prepare. I mean, he's just got to be kicked back in the tournament. They're so used to getting on a bus and, playing the first two at home, getting on a bus, driving to the regional, and then flying to the Final Four. They've done it 13 straight years that way. It's amazing how much of a dynasty he has. However, I know I'm onto something. I know I'm onto something, Coach, about, I've talked before about the Sweet 16 and there being one destination city for the women's tournament to take geography out of the equation. And I know I'm onto something because I think it was 2 years ago in the Hartford Courant, Gino called me delusional to think that would ever happen. So at least
you're right there.
He thinks I'm crazy. That's good.
Tell me about your NC State, your alma mater. Tell me about them. I love their team, and I love the job that Wes has done there.
Yeah, they're really good. Okay, they are really good. They have a couple of obstacles stacked up against them having to play in Bridgeport. I think they're way under the radar. I don't even think Vegas is favoring them. I think Vegas is favoring UConn. Elisa Cooney inside is a 6'5" center. She's a pick and pop, shoots the trail three, tough around the rim, can score left or right. I made a joke in the ACC tournament calling her amphibious, which was a reference that NC State fans obviously knew. She's so good.
I coached Mr. Amphibious with the Nets, yes.
So good. Guard play is experienced. Raina Perez and Diamond Johnson split time on dominating the ball at the point. Kai Crutchfield's their best perimeter defender. She's up to her WNBA stock. And then there's Jada Boyd off the bench. Diamond Johnson comes off the bench. Wes has 7 starters, and he's played them like that all season long. And then one of the other seniors is Kayla Jones. Kayla got hurt last year in the NCAA tournament in the first round, and I really think that affected NC State's ability to advance. And she's a hybrid 4. And I call her a hybrid versus a stretch because she can do more than just shoot the 3 on the top of the floor. She can make decisions, and she handles the ball, and she can rebound and handle the ball up the floor. They're very good, and they will be really challenged in that bracket.
So I'm sitting here in Baton Rouge, ready to get some crawfish. And our young lady came to town, a first-year coach came to town. And Kim Mulkey did a pretty good job for a first-year coach. What do you think of her team? And what do you think she might do in the tournament?
Well, first of all, I don't want to say I told you so, but Kim tells me not to say this. But I say, because about a year ago when she got hired, I'm going to actually put this little video out on social media, Coach, because it's so funny. You know, I said LSU didn't hire a coach. They made an investment. And the investment is going to reap some benefits. And part of that is because of the way our tournament is structured, first and second round games at home, Sweet 16 every year. The PMAC will be sold out a couple of times, and she'll get them all whooped up, you know, which is exactly what has happened. She can coach, and she did a great job. Her guard play is outstanding. Okay, 3 players that are athletic, they can defend, they can score at all 3 levels. Alexis Morris has been hurt. If she can come back, that will help them be able to advance. I definitely see them getting past Ohio State to the Sweet 16 and getting to Spokane, and I look forward to seeing Kim Mulkey out there taking on what will be expected a Texas team as a 2 seed. But to earn a 3 seed and to do what she's done in such a short time is really speaks to the genius of her as a coach and as a relationship builder with her players.
That's awesome. Give me your 5, 6, 7 best players in women's ball this year.
Well, outside
you're picking your all American team, so to speak.
You know, I mentioned Aaliyah Boston at South Carolina and Caitlyn Clark at Iowa.
Love her.
Elisa Cooney at NC State was my pick for ACC Player of the Year. She did not win it, but she was the best player on the best team all season, and I thought she definitely earned it. Ryan Howard at Kentucky and Nalissa Smith at Baylor. Those 2 will be 1 and 2 in the draft. They're both really good. Nalissa Smith has really improved with Nikki Collin. Kim Mulkey did a great job with Nalissa. You know how it is, like getting another voice and playing a different system has allowed her game to expand a little. But she's 6'4", and she's big and strong and athletic, and she can handle up top, and she can make a threes is probably the area that her game needs to improve the most. But she's a dominant defensive player. I think she'll probably be the 1 pick, and then Ryan Howard will be number 2 in the draft. But those are my top 5 players.
That's awesome. Tell me about a surprise team or an upset special. If you saw one of these teams upset someone, do you have possibilities, let's say?
Well, I know it sounds like a long shot, but I sort of like the UMass team against Notre Dame in the first day of the tournament. Wow. Notre Dame is very good, but UMass I've seen earlier in the year, and they've got a player, A10 player of the year in Sam Breen. They got a little point guard who can score. I think they'll be a little bit under the radar, so I'm anxious to see how they measure up because they played in our tournament down in Florida in the Gulf Coast Showcase. That's how I got to see them play, and they're a tough little team. So I'm anxious to see how they do against Notre Dame. Notre Dame doesn't like pressure, and this team is going to pressure them. So that's one that I'm sort of keeping my eye on. I am keeping my eye on Virginia Tech and Florida Gulf Coast. I think that's an interesting matchup. Florida Gulf Coast.
Great matchup.
They got a WNBA player, Kristen Bell, and she's a big, strong 6'1" body who can score, and they shoot a lot of threes. Virginia Tech has Elizabeth Kitley, 6'6" inside, who's really good. This is a good Virginia Tech team, and they're playing at Maryland, which will be good for them, for their fans. So I'm anxious to see how that shakes out. So that's a couple that I'm looking at.
Can anyone, Debbie, beat South Carolina? I know Kentucky got them in the finals, but and during the year they had Missouri got them in OT on a lucky a basket late in the game. But she's so damn good as a coach.
She has done a remarkable job with her team. I mean, expectations are high and they deliver. They do have 2 losses, and I think if you look at the 2 losses, the recipe for losing included at Missouri, it was 10 feet in the paint and making them hit shots over them and making sure you don't give them a second chance. And then for Kentucky, I thought they did a good job of playing defensively, but I also think that you got to have players that can make shots and make plays. The one thing that Dawn Staley has is multiple looks defensively that she can put on your best player. So she can go small and quick, long and tall, regardless of what position they play, 1 through 5. She has so much versatility defensively. And then, the key with Aaliyah Boston is, you got to keep her from catching it on the block and then make her make a move and do not let her rebound her own miss or let her get to the offensive glass. I think you have to be able to have enough size to be able to do that. So there is a recipe for that, but it's challenging because they're really good.
Debbie, are there any interesting storylines with any of the young women that are playing in this tournament or any of the coaches that jump at you?
One storyline I think is interesting is Kansas State and Washington State in Raleigh in NC State's bracket. The former head coach at K-State is Deb Patterson, and she's the director of basketball operations at Washington State, and them having to play each other I think is an interesting, emotional. Maybe the kids are too young to know that would mean something, but I think that's interesting. I'm a big fan of Kristen Gillespie at Illinois State. I thought it was a great girl dad moment that her dad, Mike Gillespie, Mike. Mike has been alongside Kristen the whole time, and I'm so proud of Kristen as an NC State grad that she started as a high school coach, and then she went D3, and then she coached D2, and now she's at a D1 level. She's built it every place she's gone, and I think she's done a remarkable job. They have to play Caitlyn Clark, and that's challenging, but they've had, winning the Missouri Valley, which is a really good basketball league, is a great accomplishment. So I'm really proud of what she's been able to do. And I'm interested in, DePaul and Doug Bruno in the play-in game, because I think they're on house money, and the way they score the ball, they are really good offensively, and he's got the best freshman in the country. She's a double-double inside. So I think those are just a couple coaches that I'm keeping an eye on.
I love those, and I'm a big Doug Bruno fan. He's always been just a good guy and great for the game. Pick your Final Four if you had to do it now. No one's going to listen to this, so you don't have to worry about repercussions or anything like that. I wish we had more upset potential in our game, but I really don't see a lot of upset. And, like I said before, UConn is going to be favored in that matchup should they both get there with NC State. So I'm going with all the number ones. I'm going South Carolina, going with Stanford. I think Stanford has learned to handle pressure. They've got a lot of teams in their bracket that will play full court pressure, and I think Stanford and Tara, they're just too good. They've got too many weapons. And then, of course, I'm picking NC State. I'm not picking against them. And then I've got Louisville coming out. And I think a lot of people will be surprised to see Baylor and Louisville match up. But I think the elite level defense, and then Haley Van Lith with Kiana Smith in the backcourt with Emily Engstler for Jeff Walls, I think he's got enough to get there. He's some coach, boy. I've always loved Jeff Walls. Your national champion will be?
Boy, I'm going to pick NC State because no one else is going to do that. I got to pick my alma mater. I'm going with I'm giving them confidence. I'm sending good karma their way.
Yeah, and this will eliminate at least 50% of your cash donation to the university next year. So by picking them, so that's awesome. But I think it's going to be a great tournament. And I think the women, what has happened last year by being slighted slightly during the bubble is now going to make the women's game go to amazing levels in the future. And now,
well, we'll see. I mean, I know ratings are good and things are getting better, but here's the thing that I always say, Coach, the product is the narrative. That is exactly what it is in our women's game. The product and the players are good enough to deserve lots of things on the outside that should come their way, whether it's tickets or ratings or publicity or just people tuning in to watch. It's going to be worth your time. And some of these matchups are going to be really compelling.
You're one of the few Hall of Famers as a player and now a broadcaster, but most importantly, you're my Hall of Fame friend. You're so kind to always share. I appreciate you.
The last one's the most important to me, Coach. Thank you so much. And thank you for everything that you're doing to help share all your knowledge on the women's side and making it a priority. I know I'm due to come back to one of your camps, so I hope this year I can get to one of those clinics for Coaching You, because I learned so much. I learned so much vernacular as well as learning about the game.
I know. All good words, though. No cussing at our events.
Yeah, all good words.
No, all terminology, yes. Have a great weekend in Milwaukee doing the men, and then the following week with the women's game. You're so kind to share. Thank you, Deb.
Thank you, Coach.
Hall of Famer Debbie Antonelli. She's such a superstar, such a great friend of us at Coaching You. And Debbie is one of those coaches, gals, people that I speak to about the game. Literally, I could speak for hours to her, and usually we do. But her insight on men's and women's basketball is incomparable. But one of the things she mentioned was our clinic that she loves to come to learn every year. We're going to be in Vegas, July 9 and 10, 2022. It is the best learning event in coaching. And our speakers are NBA coaches, assistants, head coaches, some of the very best in the game. And since we're all healthy and back there, I think you're going to see an incredible clinic. And I can't wait for you. So please go to coachingyoulive.com/2022. Coaching, letter U, live.com/2022 for more information. We'll see you then.